Hi everyone, my name is Kodani, and before I really start with where I'm working now, so I put a picture here of myself 20 years ago just to show that I did not allow my past to define me, and what helped me was having mentorship along the way throughout my journey. So I am a mom of two beautiful boys who love climbing. Like, my house is like a jungle, they climb everywhere. And I'm a wife. So my career I started as a GDP in 2018 in metrology. So I am in quality management division, so under metrology, and then I was appointed after 6 months as a metrology technician, and then from there I was involved with a project that I had to implement a whole new process in the plant, and then I became a failure resolution specialist. Then I am now a team manager. And then outside of my work scope, I am a yogi. I love yoga. I wake up every day at 5, actually 4:30, to do my yoga and meditate before I come to work. And then I'm also a podcaster, which is a podcast. I have a podcast that is meant to inspire young people. So before I get more into mentorship, I come from Limpopo, a very small village called Jitereke, and when I was in high school, everything was taught in Venda. So moving from Limpopo to go to Cape Town to study engineering was a big challenge, but I did not allow that obstacle to stop me from going to Cape Town. So really, I had to learn when I get to Cape Town how to speak English. And now moving over to Mentee. So I've had a lot of mentees. One of the mentees I've had were also helped me to with English, how to pronounce words, how to construct sentences as well. But yeah, all in all, a mentee is somebody who is guided or advised by a mentor that is more experienced, either in like your career or life journey. So really, as a mentee myself and now as a mentor, there are a lot of struggles that mentees go through, or yes, that we go through. When you look at a lot of books, a lot of videos, nobody is teaching about being a mentor. So you don't even, being a mentee, a lot of books are talking about how to be a good mentor. A lot of things is all around how to be a good mentor, but nobody is really talking to mentees, and which leaves us not understanding what is your role and responsibility as a mentee. How do you become a good mentee? Where do you start a mentorship journey? How to choose a mentor. When you come to a workplace as a GDP, you get allocated to somebody that is more experienced, but the relationship is not really maybe you are allocated to that someone as your mentor, but it's not really clear in terms of your growth, maybe because it's only focusing on you learning how to do the job. So it leaves us with a lot of frustration, like we feel like if we ask certain things, we're gonna be judged. So now we stay in our little corner, not really opening up. We also scared of exposing our weaknesses, because for an example, when you come to a workplace, you want to show that you are very good, which something that I experienced before. You're scared of criticism. You feel so lonely because now you're struggling with certain areas that you don't really want to expose, that these are your weaknesses, and sometimes you're shy. I was very shy, and I really had to work on that, and that really working on improving my confidence was through mentorship. So as Michelle has mentioned, I was laughing when I saw her slide about what you can control and what you can't control. And really, it really starts there. You need to understand your purpose in life. You need to understand what is it that you can control and what is it that you can't control. You need to know who you are as a person in order for you to get into mentorship. Yes, your mentor can really help you to understand who you are as a person, but you as an individual, you need to understand. From my past experience, I've had to read a lot of books to really self-develop. So looking at this picture, there's things that we can control and things that we cannot control. Things that we cannot control, a lot of people are stuck in the past. The reason why I put a picture of myself as a 5-year-old with snotters on my nose, it's just to show that I didn't allow my past to define me. That girl who moved from a small village to come to go to Cape Town, that's like 1,500 kilometers away, not knowing anyone, I didn't allow my past to define me to where I am today. The actions of others, like we are so concerned about how people are doing things around us instead of focusing on how we do things, the opinions of others, how others take care of themselves. You know, sometimes we just want to put a lot of our own opinions on how others should take care of themselves. And also we get so affected about the outcome of our efforts. You know, if you are presenting and somebody does not like your presentation or gives you constructive feedback, and you feel like no, what they're saying is not true, that stops us from growing. And really what we can look at is like focus on the bigger picture when you start your mentorship journey. Being the bigger picture, as Michelle and Sandy have mentioned, you need to look at who do you aspire to be, where do you want to be from where you are now to like your future. What are your future goals? And then surround yourself with positive people. Who you surround yourself with is in your control. You know, if you are surrounded by negative people, when negative people, every single thing that they see, like for an example from this session, when they look at it, they will feel like, that was not really, I didn't really gain anything. But they don't look at positive things that they can take out of the whole session of mentorship. And then I've mentioned, do not be a victim of your past. People victimize themselves. I can't do this because maybe my father was not present, so it has affected my past. Hence, I don't even feel like I can get a male mentor. So you should also be conscious about perceptions or bias. So when you are around people, you're gonna get a lot of feedback, a lot of comments. You must look at what people are saying and reflect and take what you think can help you grow. And moving over to my mentee roadmap, so it was really a very rocky one because I mean, starting when you get to a workplace, you hear that you need a mentor, but first thing, you don't understand why you need a mentor. And so for me, it is, as I mentioned, it was a very rocky journey because I went to some people and asked them to be my mentor, and they said no, they are busy. And some people, when you ask them, can you be my mentor? So this book I was reading, that sometimes when you're going around asking for people to be my mentor, it's the same as you asking for someone to be your friend. It doesn't sound authentic, and your mentor and mentee and mentor relationship must be authentic. So you should start by defining your personal goals and objectives. So hence I started with a slide of what you can control and what you can't control. If you understand the difference between what you can control and what you can't control, you will be able to define your goals and objective, and it will be easier for you to find your purpose. And then you have to find a mentor. So we've got formal and informal mentor. For me, like getting mentorship, as Michelle mentioned, mentorship, you can find a mentor. I mean, having a mentor can be seasonal. I've had so many mentors in my life, and through that journey, some were informal and some were formal. And quite an interesting story with my informal with how some of my mentorship relationships started. It started very informal. I went to this other lady, she's also a manager. I was like to her, look, I'm going to become a team manager. I would like to get an advice from you as a manager. I like your management style. And she was like to me, Kadani, I don't doubt your technical skills. I don't doubt your experience, but I don't doubt your management skills as well. But please look at how you talk when you are presenting. You always you don't talk in full sentences. And really, after that, it was so hurtful what she said to me. But I sat down and reflected, and I was like to myself, how can I improve on what she's saying? Even though I felt like, I don't think she's right what she's saying. But when I look at, I asked her to help me with improving how I talk, how I present, and luckily she's in the same division as me, and we attend sometimes same meetings, so she's able to see my progress. So our mentorship journey started as informal, and then it became formal when I started setting up sessions with her. And from her giving me that feedback, it was just the feedback, and that was it. And for me, I followed up because I wanted to grow. And really, if you don't follow up on if you get feedback and you feel like it's a negative feedback, you are never gonna grow. There's a saying that says, where there's a smoke, there is fire. So you must, if somebody gives you feedback, sometimes you should really take time to reflect. So I always do that. And another experience for my mentorship with somebody that is external, my older sister. My older sister is my mentor. We have sessions. It depends also like on what is happening. When I had a new manager, it was a big struggle. You know, I think in the past 4 years I changed managers 3 times, and the 2 first managers were so, everything was like excellent, you know, and I was so used to being told excellent. And now when I got this new manager, everything was like I was rated very low, and I was like, I'm getting this rating. And really, first thing I did, I went to my previous manager, was like, this is what I did this, I did that. Like I always looked at myself as an overachiever. And then I said to my manager, my previous manager, what do you advise that I should do? And then he gave me an advice. However, I went to my sister and then I explained to her what I did, but I was not really explaining. I was just raising my frustrations. And then she sort of like guided me through a journey of creating a better relationship with my manager. And really, if I didn't have that mentorship, I was not going to be in good relationship. I was not going to have a good relationship with my manager. It started with understanding who she is as a person, the type of feedback that I'm getting, and from, if I'm having a performance review, for an example, what is it that I need to take and reflect and also improve? If she's giving me feedback, I need to understand where is it coming from, where can I improve, and then she helps me to improve. So I also look at my manager as my mentor, looking at, for an example, if you don't really know where to start, also when you go get feedback, don't just leave it as it is, because a lot of people leave and say, they just hate me. But you don't look at all the feedback that you get as a way to improve. Look at where you can improve and also ask for support. So that can also be your trigger on setting up your goals. So when you have defined your goals and find a mentor, you need to have goals, agreement, and alignment of expectations. So I'm not going to dwell much on that. I think Michelle has also touched on the goals and alignment. And then lastly, you need to measure your success. So it's always important that a lot of the sessions that you have with your mentor should be reviewing what you have set as your goals, and also your growth as well. So if there's no growth, then your mentor can sometimes your mentor can also direct you to another person to mentor you, which has happened a lot to me as well. So always measure your success that will determine your growth. And lastly, I put the 10 B's of a mentee. This is from my experience. I'm not really going to dwell much on this slide because Michelle and Sandy also mentioned. So be committed. Be committed. Do not rely on your mentor to schedule your mentorship sessions. And also don't just get there and sit and expect your mentor to lead the sessions. You need to drive the mentorship. Yes, your mentor is there to give you a direction, but in order for you to get a lot out of it, it would be you leading the sessions. And then be respectful. Time, you must respect your mentor's time. If you set up a meeting, please be punctual and also show up. Be responsible, accept responsibility and follow up. When you are given responsibilities, please do them and follow up. Be accountable, implement feedback and complete the tasks. Sandy mentioned how you should do that. Be open for a change. If you're not open for a change, you're not gonna grow. So you should be open for a change. Be teachable. I mean, being a mentor, your mentor, you must also look at your mentor as a teacher. So you must prepare for questions, ask for clarification, be proactive. Do not wait on your mentor to come up with like topics to focus on. Be receptive. Michelle did mention you must listen. So you must listen to your mentor's advice and also value their constructive feedback. So you must really use that as a way to like a trigger for improvement. Be comfortable. It's so uncomfortable to be given some feedback where you think you are very good. So you must allow to be comfortable in an uncomfortable condition or uncomfortable conversation. And lastly, be vulnerable. You know, a lot of people, they feel like, yes, I need a mentor because it has to be, like everyone is saying that we need a mentor. But how open are you? Being vulnerable can help you also improve your relationship with other people. I would make an example with being vulnerable with my situation. My mentor, when I go to her, I'm able to open up on things that I'm facing as a new team manager, like with people, with all the challenges that I'm having. But those things I'm unable to open up to my manager because I feel like my manager is gonna use that against appraisal. And then, but that really, me being vulnerable to my mentor to open up that, okay, I can't discuss this with my my manager because of 1, 2, 3, and 4 has really helped me for my mentor to say this is the approach you should take to discuss them with your manager, because you do need the support from your manager. So thank you so much for listening. This is the reference. I've also put different books that have helped me grow and also have helped me understand my journey of being a mentee. And I've also put on the side just a page that really is stuck with me, The Victim to Hero Leap. I will share with you so that I don't take a lot of time. I see I have wasted a lot of time. Thank you so much for the invite. Another thing that I forgot to mention during my presentation was how do you make time for mentorship with your very busy schedule? Self-development or getting developed or development as a whole should be on top of your priority list. A lot of people fall behind because they do not prioritize development. Your results will suffer if you do not prioritize on getting developed. I spend about 30 minutes a day on investing on myself, either reading a book or training. So I always prioritize development because I know my results will be driven from what I've learned or from different development sessions. So my advice is always prioritize yourself, invest in yourself, invest in learning. So